We are live.
Hey, welcome to
Hey.
the. Hey there. Hey everybody.
Hello.
Hey now.
No one's here yet, but
Hello.
let's wait a moment to do all the introductions, see if anyone shows up. But right now we are at 0 views.
Hopefully
That should change. We had a good turnout last time.
Okay.
And people I think seemed interested tonight.
with the legendary
I
race.
just shared the post that you guys did about me being a guest. So hopefully that people saw it on my Facebook.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I shared out to quite a few places.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of fun. I don't know why this is doing that, but okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's fine.
I don't know. Let's. I guess. Do you want to begin, or do you want to wait?
We can chat a little bit. Oh, that's fine because I'm used to doing things differently. All right. Hey. Anyways. Yeah. So this is the IncrediChat.
Yes.
Our regular thing. As you all know, we were supposed to be doing our IncrediCon this weekend at the Ramada in Fishkill. Unfortunately, what happened was this whole Corona thing kind of put the brakes on that one for us. So here we are now. Doing our IncrediChat. So I'm with Michael Grazia. Grazia, you want to introduce our very special guest star tonight so we could talk a little bit of comics, fun, things like that. And
Sure. This is Dennis Knight. Dennis
How's
Knight
it going,
is
guys?
a writer and editor. And Dennis, why don't you give us a little bit about yourself so people get to know who you are?
Oh, how's it going, guys? My name is Dennis Knight. I'm a writer editor at Pronto Comics based in New York City. I do a lot of New York Comic Con is like a big event for me. I do New York Comic Con, a lot of like local cons, do in-store signings, I do panels, more. I'm getting into more like instructional side of things. Like I've done some stuff with schools, like talking to kids like how to make comics and like different aspects of the creative team, things like that. So I'm just trying to get out there, like do more work and like reach more people.
That's great. Mike and I both are educators, and we actually kind of do the same thing. We go to shows, we teach kids.
Right.
What age group do you work with?
Right. The last show, the last event I did was at a high school in Jackson Heights in Queens, Renaissance School. It was a mix. It was a mixed age group, but like mostly like I would say 10 to 12, 15, that age group. And the kids were great. They were super excited. They asked a lot of questions. It was a lot of fun. Awesome.
Why don't you just tell everyone about your comic that you do?
Right now I'm known for Cross, which is published by Pronto Comics. It's a science fiction noir, and the premise is a contract killer finds out he's a terrorist in an alternate universe, and then he has to travel to the alternate universe to find himself and save the world. I have about 6 issues in print. Actually, my artist Kirk represents. He's working on issue number 7 now. So the hope is everything is ready for New York Comic Con for 2020. That's when they debut it.
Let's hope New York Comic Con happens in New York 20.
Well, I did get an email from Repop about the registration for the pro badges and all that stuff. So
I saw that too.
Planning going ahead as planned. So hopefully everything stays the same.
Yeah, I plan.
I was talking to some people today, and I mean running IncrediCon has been quite the task, which is a fun task. But which I was gonna say is I think the fact that Javits is going to actually even be a hospital, I can't see that physically happening because it's just not I can't see that happening. It's not gonna. There's no way. And I mean, someone just messaged me about another convention that's happening, and they're going to be canceling their convention. I'm not going to say which one it is, but because they haven't made any announcements yet. But the big concern with conventions is what are people going to pay with? Because a lot of people are out of work right now. There's no money. So even like if a Hudson Valley or an IncrediCon like we were planning to have happen is going to happen, people really don't have that expendable cash right now. I mean, I don't want to say right now, but I think going forward, people may not have that expendable cash to spend on whether it be Funko Pops or comics or toys or whatever it is. So it's going to be interesting to see what this does for the whole con circuit going forward.
What other shows do you do, Dennis, regularly besides?
Regularly, I'm kind of because ever since everything's so crazy right now, I'm trying to picking and choosing what cons I'm considering doing, like the scheduling and things like that. I was supposed to do Verde Valley Con in Arizona last weekend, but I had to cancel because the coronavirus and the flights restrictions, things like that. So I couldn't go. But I was actually looking forward to going out there.
Oh, let me interrupt you for a second. Is one of you guys listening to this on Facebook right now? Like, have Facebook open?
No. Wait, let me check. I might.
because I'm getting the audio, a few moments after.
I actually have Facebook open but no audio on.
Okay, I don't know why I'm hearing it then.
I have it connected to my iPod.
Let me
so-
check,
Yeah.
make sure. Let me check, make sure I don't, because I thought I deleted it. I thought I closed it off.
Yeah.
But anyway, when we come back, once we get started here,
Okay.
Keith, tell us a little bit more about Pronto Comics for people who don't know Pronto. Growsy and I both know about Pronto.
I actually used to work for them. I was their art director. That's how I met Dennis.
Okay.
So, but Dennis, why don't you talk about it because you're still with them?
Why did I call you Keith?
Yeah. Pronto Comics is an independent publisher. They're based in New York City. And basically, what they do is they provide a platform for people to like debut their work. We also do team building. We also do like a lot of educational stuff. I'm kind of the guy in charge of like new pitches. So like most pitches go through me, and then like out of the pitches, I determine we're going with this person, not work with this person, and then like bring it all to the board and let show them what I've done and what I've worked with so far. So I'm kind of sort of the unofficial talent scout of Pronto Comics. Like a lot of stuff goes through me.
All right. Oops. Let me go this way so I still can't lean. I wanted to lean on my shirt. My chair, I mean. So I'm going to turn so I can lean and still not in the shot. Sorry. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to disconnect my Cintiq because I don't need that right now.
Okay.
Much better.
There you go. You got it.
There we go. Perfect.
Cool.
Hi, Joe. Joe Ryan is watching right now.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm still hearing a little feedback. I don't know where that's coming from, but
That's kind of strange.
yeah. Anyway, so when you since we do have people who are comic artists watching this, let me just ask you, as an editor, as a talent scout for Pronto, what do you look for when you're looking at portfolios?
Consistency. What's the word I'm looking for? Interior art is a big thing. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but do you handle the story too, or do you look at the art more as well?
Well, mostly I focus more on the story, like the scripts and the teams. Sometimes I do get stuff that's art attached to it, and then from there, I kind of consult with Ramon and see what he thinks, and okay, is this person solid? Does this person have visual storytelling is very important in comics, so the visual storytelling has to be there. Where you're looking over proposals and pitches and things like that.
And for everyone just wondering, Ramon is Ramon Gill. He's fantastic artist, writer. He puts out he has a bunch of books. Great guy.
Oh yeah,
fantastic guy.
Ramon is dynamite.
Yeah. I just wanted to say hey to Mike Stencil and Joe Ryan who are watching us live right now. Joe's
awesome.
What's up, Joe? How are you?
Hold on, sorry. I thought I got something. So let me ask you about the comics. So you do a sci-fi comic. What inspired you to do sci-fi?
I just had a crazy idea one day, and I kind of ran with it. And then it kind of opened it up to different genres, and because I want to do more in the war stuff. I want to do superhero stuff. I'm kind of playing with the idea of writing horror, but I don't think I have the chops for it. But I'm open to working with other people in that genre.
Okay. Any other projects you can tell us about, or
the Sagi program? That's probably my newest one. We actually debuted at PoundCon. The creator is Ray Rebello. He's the creator, and he hired me to write the story. So basically, his book is about government experiments with alien DNA, and they infuse the alien DNA with soldiers to make them super soldiers.
Okay.
And then an alien comes to Earth looking for an alien that was killed by the government years ago, and then it's just the superheroes fighting the bad guys. So it's basically it's a lot of fun to write. If you like science fiction, high tech aliens and stuff, this story is right up your alley.
What's the name of it again?
The Sagi program.
Okay, that sounds actually cool.
The Ray Rebello is the creator. It's his book. So I'm helping him out with the writing and stuff like that.
Okay. I don't know if you heard. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Do you have a link or something where people can find that if they want to get a copy of it or a digital download?
Right now, we actually sold out at PowerCon, and with the shipping issues right now, it might be kind of hard for them to get a hold of copies. And actually, he's in search for a printer, so I will be doing a lot of posting when he has more copies available, his next appearance, so you guys can I'm not sure what he's doing on the cyber side of things. People can order it and can ship it out to him. I'm not sure where he's at with that yet, But I will get in touch with them, let them know that people are looking for us, and then like we can make an announcement so that people can like pick it up.
I would love that, and we'll be happy to post it on our IncrediCon page.
No, that'd be great. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because as we've said before, and this goes for Dennis, and this goes for everybody else too, who's watching. If we really want to support like local artists, local talent, obviously with the convention circuit down right now, this is a way that we can support people and make sure that we spread the word so people can go out and buy their books, buy their artwork, get commissions, whatever it is that they need to do, so we can support all these local artists and people continue to produce through this hard time.
Let me ask you then, because I'm, me, I'm an artist. I like to.
Of course, yeah.
I'm, we've worked together actually.
Yeah, for a long time.
And just I like, what is it that you like to read? When like comic wise or non-comic wise to help, that inspires you to do the work you do?
I read a lot of Stephen King. Like he's probably one of my favorite authors. As far as comic book stuff, like I'm a big fan of Jim Lee. I'm a big fan of as far as writers, Michael Bendis. I love Alan Moore. Like, those guys are like my inspiration as far as like getting ideas and stuff like that.
Okay, let me ask you this then, because you brought up Bendis.
Yeah.
What do you think of what he did to Superman?
I actually did not read his Superman books. I was more shocked along the terms of like him leaving Marvel was like a big deal. He was with Marvel for like 20 years, and then he left from Marvel and went to DC. It was like it's kind of crazy. I heard mixed feelings about it, and people weren't too thrilled with what he did. Some, so I'm actually going to check out one of his books to see like what all the fuss is about.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't like it. Right. But I believe he's on right now Legion of Superheroes, and I read like the first 2 issues, and I enjoyed what he's doing with the Legion.
Okay, cool.
And I don't know when I'm going to get the next books because with everything closed, they're up to like issue 6, I think, of that. So I'm going to have to wait for a trade or something, or for it to go on the DC Universe app. Yeah,
well, that's what I did. Actually, I picked up Doomsday Clock Part 1 a couple of days ago, and it's a graphic novel, and I'm in love with it. I love what Johns is doing with it, and I can't wait to get the next part of it. It's so good.
Well, let's look at the questions here. So we got Joe saying Archie, Amanda Connors, Harley Quinn, Back to the Future. Is that something I missed out? What is?
I'm not sure.
Are you talking about Archie comics? Is that what you're reading right now, Joe? There's a Back to the Future comic right now?
I know IDW was doing a Back to the Future comic.
No, I remember that. I didn't know if it was still in print.
I mean, if we're talking about IDW comics, I mean, IDW does an amazing Ghostbusters book. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I read some of that too.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I've been buying more like old school trades, and I actually in my bedroom I have a trade of some of the G.I. Joes from like the late 80s, early 90s. I forget.
Oh, nice.
But cool. I love those books.
Joe shared that is what he's reading right now.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right. I don't read Harley Quinn. I am a DC guy, but I don't read Harley Quinn. With Archie, what Joe? Why don't you tell what Archie books are you reading? Because they do have a line. I'm more of a classic Archie fan. I don't really like the new stuff that they've been doing. That Riverdale's based on, and when they updated Sabrina and stuff, right. I kind of like the and I spent a few months working for Archie as a production artist, so I read a lot of Archie when I was there, and I don't know if it's from my growing up reading Archie, the Archie cartoon they had as a kid, the all the work I did, like looking at the stuff that I just love the more classic style.
Sure.
Looking at like Dan DeCarlo's work, Fernando Ruiz, Dan Parent, like all those guys are, and Dan DeCarlo, he was the one who like defined the look. So it's just, I don't know.
If anybody who's like an Archie fan, this is a great book that came out a couple of years ago called The Art of Dating Veronica.
Wow, nice.
Very nice.
I mean, as we're sitting here talking about Dan DeCarlo, I mean, and this goes through everything.
I'm gonna give you the screen, Mike, so you can show the book better.
And hopefully we can get Dan Parent or Fernando on here at some point. But this is called The Art of Dating Veronica, and Fernando Ruiz, Archie. Fernando's in here. There's a lot of people whose great artwork is in here. But I mean, this really talks about like the early looks of of the girls. Like, I mean, like look at some of this artwork in here, right? I mean,
Oh, wow.
that is a
Wow, that's
completely
nice.
different Betty and Veronica
Oh, totally.
than what we know now. And it just again their evolution to then. Is this stand here? This is Harry Lucy, I guess. Harry Lucy, who I guess kind of started to go into that traditional Archie like look of what we have now. But I mean, like seriously, once you go from there, then you zip up ahead. Again, I don't know what year, probably the mid '60s. But then that's when you're really looking into the Betty and Veronica and the whole Archie gang that we know now.
Yeah.
You know, and there were so many people that were inspired just by this Dan DeCarlo look. I mean, certainly, you know, Dan Parent and Fernando Ruiz, people who we know, were definitely inspired by them. Just looking to zip up to like some of Dan Parent's work here. But yeah, here's some of Dan Parent's work. Here's some of Dan Parent's work. You know, but I mean, certainly, if you're looking at that style of work and what Dan DeCarlo did there, he inspired a lot of artists, like especially Bruce Timm. A lot of stuff Bruce Timm went off and did. You know, really inspired. Was inspired by that. I mean, again, talking about Bruce Timm, I'm not going to flip through the book just because it's not appropriate. But this is a great art book by
I have that. Yeah.
Timm, Naughty and Nice, and I mean, yeah, his art.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
if you want to look at it,
here's something that's appropriate. I mean, there's a lot of
Gotcha.
little Lone Ranger style girl. Yeah, it's nice.
but you see the inspiration came from Dan DeCarlo's Betty and Veronica work.
Oh yeah, totally. Another good thing that Dan did, I have the book. I'd have to go through some of my boxes, but he was an amazing like pinup style cartoony artist, and he did and he would do these really great like you know, comics. They were almost like you know, the old stuff in the 50s. You know, secretary being chased around the desk type of stuff, but it had this beautiful like pinup style, and I have like a bunch of. I have like 2 of those books they printed somewhere in my boxes, and they're fantastic to look at. You know, the jokes are not PC today, but they are. That just art wise, it's beautiful to look at.
Right.
I forget. There's this funny story. I forget who told me the story. But somebody in my travels told me the story once that Dan DeCarlo used to send the pencil drawings to the inkers, and you know, like those famous beach covers, and the Archie and the gang were not wearing any clothing, and it was up to the inker then to add clothing to it. But Dan made sure that they were all accurate in other places, which I guess happens behind the scenes.
I'll be honest, I never saw that, but I will say when I worked as a production artist, there were inkers who left out clothing lines. So like if you didn't, I'd have to go in and it's like, are they wearing a short sleeve, long sleeve, and fix that up sometimes. I remember one day when Dan came in, and this was the whole time going through the lawsuit with Josie and the Pussycats and everything. So it was actually his last day there. Wow. And he drew, and I hate to say this about a cartoon character, but one of the hottest pictures of Betty I've ever seen. She was like in the shower, there was smoke, like the fog coming around her and everything.
Okay, cool.
And as a production artist, my job was to take the pencils, photocopy it, and then put them in the drawer so they can be sent out to the inkers. And when they were done ink, I would look over them and blah, 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 the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I remember Dan called me over to look at the picture. I'm like, that's great. I'll be right back. I have to run to the bathroom. When I came out, he wasn't in the building anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. You know, I didn't get to know him well, but I got to know him, and it was very nice, like talking to him. He was a great guy.
That's
cool. He was a really good guy. So, I guess we kind of sidetracked there a little bit, maybe.
That's okay. We're here tonight. We're talking about comics. That's what it's about. Because IncrediChat, and it's all about IncrediCom.
Yeah. So, anybody watching have any questions for Dennis or me or Mike? We got a few people watching here, so.
All right, well, I mean, let's move on to the next question then. Go ahead, Groth.
Well, I don't have a list here, so.
What are you?
I'm an artist. Remember that. I'm not a writer. You two are the writers. I don't make lists. I just draw.
There you go.
Actually, that's not true. I'm a big list maker, but I didn't make one for tonight. I have to stay organized.
Yeah, sure.
But so we were talking a little bit about cons. Let's go back to that for a moment.
Okay.
What is your plan for your stuff without shows now for promotion?
Just a lot of social media, emails. I'm doing a lot of like conference calls, like for projects and creative teams, things like that, until we can actually physically meet again. Until this craziness dies down.
Is Cross available on digital download, like on Indie Planet or something?
Yes, I believe it is.
Nice.
Go to the website; it can give you the instructions how to download and everything.
All right, that's great. That's great. You have them on any other websites? Oh, we got. Yes, I have a question regarding Archie. Does Archie Comics still take submissions? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't worked there since 2001. But I would say it doesn't hurt to submit. It never does. I mean, I go on their website and look to see if they have a submission guideline. That's the best I can tell you.
That's the best way to do it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And look and see if they're taking them, because I know like Marvel and DC aren't doing that anymore. So
no submissions.
Yeah. Even though
I'm gonna check it out right now as we're chatting here.
Okay. You do that.
All right, cool.
And so Cross, you're working on issue 7 right now.
Right.
How many
yes.
issues do you have the story planned out to be?
I was actually talking to Kirk about that a couple of months ago. We're thinking maybe for the first volume, maybe 10 issues, maybe. But we're actually kind of like going to sit down and see where the story's gone so far, and like where we want to take it to, how many issues it's going to take to like kind of wrap everything up. But we want to do a second volume with another story with the same characters in the future. So I'm looking forward to doing that also.
And how long has Cross been out for?
Since about 2012.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think the first 2 or 3 issues that you gave me when we were first, working together. And I remember reading them and really enjoying them.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I got to be honest, so I can't remember too much of the story right now because it was like.
Oh, me neither. Don't worry about it.
5-6 years ago? When
it was a while ago. Yeah.
I don't remember when we were working on Pronto together.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
At least 6 years ago.
When the Janimal left.
Yeah,
so whoever
when he moved to Arizona, yeah.
Our friend Jan Mark, who goes by the Janimal, if you guys don't know who he is, he was the art director for Pronto before I was the art director. When he left, I took over, and when I left, Jan is awesome. And when I left, Ramon took over.
That's right, yeah.
So, and everyone, they're all great people. Everyone at Pronto is awesome.
Dynamite people for sure.
And I went to a couple of their meetings. Gosh, probably about 10 years ago, and it was a very good group of people. And I went to Pronto Pizza. They had
that was when they first started. I wasn't there for the Pronto Pizza stuff, but that's how they got their name, because they would meet at
because you meet at Pizzeria. Yeah. I actually went there before. That pizza's really good there.
Is it? I don't think I've ever.
No, we actually had a meeting at Pronto Pizza, and we had pizza there.
Do they still do phrases to pages?
We're going to evaluate it because it's a lot of work to put together. Because last time we did it like during New York Comic Con, and everybody was so wiped from the con, and then had to go to the event right after. Like everybody was like so tired.
Yeah,
so it's a great event. It takes a lot of work though. I want to keep doing it because I think it brings out a lot of people. It's fun, but.
Do you want to explain phrases to pages? Because I think it's a fantastic. I went to like 3 or 4 of them, and I enjoyed myself on every one.
Well, the fun part is like you get a phrase, and then you get teamed up with a writer and an artist, and you have to draw a panel based on the phrase that you get. You get like I think it's 30 minutes to do it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's got just 1 page a comic.
Right.
You get to draw. I've met a bunch of great writers that way.
Yeah.
That's our everyone's friend here, Robert Sidaro, if you guys know him. That's actually how I met Bob. We were teamed up on a phrases to pages piece.
Hilarious.
And we actually won that round. We won first place that round.
I did not know that. I didn't know you teamed up with Bob. That's fun.
Yeah, that's how I met Bob, and he's a fantastic guy.
Oh, he's great. Bob is dynamite.
Yeah. Hopefully he's watching right now.
Hopefully, yeah.
So, Mike, I don't know. Did you find anything on the Archie for submission?
I did not find anything on the Archie thing.
Okay.
But
yeah. Joe, just look around. It might be online. Doesn't hurt to write them and ask them, but follow their guidelines 100%. If they want 5 pages, give them 5 pages. If you want to write for them and they need an 8-page story, that's how they do it. Write an 8-page story for them. All right. That's honestly the best advice.
Yeah, for sure.
Where does Phrases of Pages take place? Joe asked. Well, when it was going on, it was down where? I don't remember the address.
I want to say Simple Studios down in the city on 27th Street.
Yeah,
we get like a studio space in Simple Studios, and like we set up. We usually have like refreshments and food. People would come in, and then they would they would draw. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and there was, I forget, were the refreshments paid or are they free?
I want to say the refreshments were free, but I think we asked for like a donation for you to come in.
Yeah, there was like a $5,
yeah.
and then they would do some really cool raffles.
The phrases, yes.
No, the raffles were fan. I mean, I'm not going to
get a lot of art supplies,
but I got a couple of books behind me that I got as part of the raffle, and I was really just helping out Pronto with donating the money, but the stuff that they were able to get. The books and stuff. I mean, I have the what is it? The Complete Animal Man omnibus there behind me, that I got from that, and I got one of the DC showcases that I have
cool.
that I collect from. I mean, those are like the only 2 things I won there, but they were like, I put in like $5, $10 or whatever it was to help, the donations to Pronto, and that was so
very cool.
Yeah, it was cool stuff. I liked it.
So I'm actually just talking to Dara right now. He might be joining us in a minute. We'll see.
Oh, are we going to bring him in the live stream, or he's just going to? Because if he's going to be on the stream, I got to send him an invite.
Sorry, I missed you. I lost you for a second.
I said, is he going to join us on screen or?
I don't know.
If he's going to, let me know. I'll send him an invitation so he can get in here.
All
right.
I'll give you 1 second.
All right.
I'll ask. Oh, yes. All right, it'll take a few minutes, but we'll see what he says.
All right, yeah, no problem.
So where were we?
Phrases to Pages.
Mm-hmm.
Joe wrote Simple Studios, 22nd Street, Manhattan. If that's the address, I don't remember the address.
I want to say at the moment that sounds about right. Yeah, it's definitely in the 20s.
Yeah. No, I used to drive down there. It wasn't a bad drive because it was like. Yeah. I'm here in Yonkers, so I hop on the Sawmill into the Henry Hudson, and it was just kind of straight down. It was like make a left until you get into the 20s, make a left, and it was a couple of turns. It wasn't bad at all. So I don't know, Mike. You got any questions?
I do not have anything now. I'm just waiting for Sidaro.
Okay. Anything else that Pronto has done that I may have forgotten or not aware of?
We're working on a couple of books right now. We did. I think our most successful book right now is probably the horror anthology that we have.
Yeah, Deathology was a great book.
It was a big hit at New York Comic Con in 2019. We sold out a lot of copies over there.
Yeah.
And then Des DeMaya, she's a creator. She's working on issue 2 of her book, The Creation. She's working on that now. She got an artist, Rob Gorey, so they're working together to put some pages together. Right. So that should be out pretty soon.
And the one you mentioned, Des, she's out in like California or something, right?
Oh, that's in California. That's right. Yeah. I'm the editor for that book.
Yeah, the editor for that book. All right.
Yeah.
And outside of Ramon taking over for me, is there any other changes? Other new people working with you guys?
But still kind of like very close unit right now. We're all looking. I am the new secretary for Pronto now, so doing that in addition to like the other editorial duties and things like that. But always open and willing to work with like new people who want to get into the industry, want to help out. So always interested in working with people. All
right, you guys have a website or something they can message or an email?
ProntoComics.com. There's also the Pronto Comics fan page on Facebook, and also Twitter, Pronto Comics, and Instagram.
All right, so if you want to get in touch with Pronto, just make sure you know ProntoComics.com.
Yeah, send an email. We're happy to talk to you.
Yeah. What I liked about working with Pronto is, I was the artist, so I worked mostly with the artists. But what I like is that They help new writers, new artists. It's kind of like learning how to work with editors and art directors
Right.
and other
Sure.
things and a publisher. So it's kind of good. It's a good introduction to the business.
Yeah, life experience. You learn from experience, and then you grow as a person.
And I will say, not everybody's as nice as we are, though, as art directors and editors. I've worked with some tough people in the past.
Sure, yeah.
We want to give you guys Pronto wants to give you guys a good experience and really help you grow. I'm not saying having a tough art director or editor is a bad thing. It actually, if you get the right ones who are not mean for just being mean, who are like, I see what you're doing and I got to be a little tough love with you.
Right.
It works. It works really well.
It was a nice collaborative community at Pronto. I thought the few times I went over to.
Yeah. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, for sure, no problem.
We're just working to get Mr. Sidaro on board with us here, which will be fun. We'll have a big party here.
Yeah. Excuse me. I just got to check something out here.
Anyways, yeah. So, what other Comic Cons have you been to? Then you were saying you were going to be in Arizona this past week.
I'm kind of waiting to see like all the crazies die down first. There's a whole bunch I want to do. Just matter of traveling and scheduling and things like that. I do want to head out more to the West Coast.
Okay.
I know out here, Emerald City is the next con. I want to check that out like in the next year or two.
Gotcha.
Now the one that you were going to do, the one in Arizona, was that Jan's?
Verde Valley.
Yeah,
Verde Valley Con.
Yeah, he puts on I hear he puts on a great show. He had I don't know if it was this year or last year, but he brought like Chris Geruso in.
Yeah, I mean the lineup was great. I was so excited. We were supposed to do a panel out there this past weekend, and I was really upset that I couldn't make it out there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just checking one more thing here, just to see.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I got. Well, I'm sorry. I was looking for something for Sodaro, see if he was coming on. I haven't.
Did you get the road? Did you get him?
I have nothing. I mean, I can send him the invite just to have. Let me do that.
Do you have his email?
I should. We've emailed about IncrediCon.
Mm-hmm.
So.
There's the info for submitting on the main site. Joe, is that for Pronto you're asking about? Is that for submitting to Pronto or submitting? What do you look? This is from Joe. What do you look for in terms of submissions, Dennis? I'm trying to break into the industry. What do you look for in terms of submissions? That's a good question. For someone who wants to break into the industry, what do you look for in submissions?
Are you Dennis? Can you hear Mike? Hold on, Dennis.
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear Mike?
I'm here.
No, but did you hear what Mike said?
Softly, no, I didn't hear what he said.
Softly. He's coming in.
Joe Ryan wants to know, what do you look for in terms of submissions for people who are breaking into the industry?
He's asking. Joe wants to know what type of stuff do you look for in terms of submissions for trying to break into the industry?
Concise story, a synopsis of the story. You have a script, you have a creative team already put together. Who's on your creative team? Do you plan to work with this creative team throughout the project? Those things like that.
And I think also I'm from what I remember. I mean, you really need to be a good collaborator with people too. I think that's a very important thing. Any kind of arts-based thing, you need to be able to collaborate with people. That's very important. I think we're having some sound problems.
So he hears you a little softly.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to repeat what I said, Graz? Just because.
Give me 1 second. I'll be happy to. I'm just sending out the email to Sidaro right now.
He's waiting for the reply. I said you need to be in that collaborative spirit. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
for working in comics or any entertainment industry. You really need to, anything, you really need to be able to work together with other people. Joe says, solid, thank you. So,
Yeah.
all right, anybody else? We have a few viewers here. Who's with us tonight? Let us know what your questions are. We got Dennis Knight here from Pronto Comics. He's the editor. He also is a writer. He does some great books. So share out your questions, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about comic books, getting into the comic book industry, Pronto Comics, and just any of your general questions this evening.
Sorry.
No, no problem at all.
Yeah, I just want to get Sidaro in here, hopefully.
Yes, I'd love to see him. I haven't seen Bob in forever.
So Joe, you're saying I've worked with a team of 6 artists on a magazine called, what's that? Horrendous magazine. Sorry. I think I may have to clean my glasses. So horrendous. What is Horrendous magazine? Tell us about that, Joe. And there's about a 10-second delay, so what he hears.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
That's why I'm monitoring just both of our pages too, which is important. Comic Con. Yeah, I'm just seeing what's going on here with this whole thing.
So you know what? Oh, hold on. I think we got Sidaro coming in. Let's see. Should we add him to the stream here?
Please add him.
Yep. Hey.
Hey, Bob. How's it going?
Good.
Good. Bob Sidaro, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. Bob, can you hear us? I can't hear you too well.
I can't hear Bob either.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sidaro, great artist, great collaborator, awesome.
Great writer.
Great writer. Great everything.
Yes. Nope. Still can't hear you, man.
Sorry for our technical differences tonight.
Test. When you logged in, did the mic work?
Sorry for the technical thing.
Yes, we'll figure this out. Okay, Bob. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you off the stream so you can test your mic, and I'll bring you back on. Okay.
All right. Cool.
We're
having some sound problems tonight, folks.
Yes.
Apologize for that.
Yeah.
We'll work around that.
And he should be able to hear me right now. So, Bob, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up on the screen when you're ready to go. So, Joe, you were talking about it's a one-time. Your Horrendous magazine was a one-time Halloween magazine with stories and activities for all ages.
Mm.
That sounds great. I love that type of stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, right. Who were some of the other artists that you worked with?
Dar's trying to get in. Right now.
Yeah, he's working on it. As soon as I see him with the thumbs up, I'll add him again. But
so, Dennis, what were some of your inspirations as we were talking? Like, what really got you into comics?
Oh, Dennis, Mike just asked, what were your inspirations that got you into comics?
I read a lot of Marvel when I was growing up with my older cousin Mike. So a lot of X-Men, a lot of Spider-Man, Daredevil, and it's just like it was really cool to see pictures and words like just put together. So it's a lot of fun. And then when I realized I could actually make them, I was like, wow, this is great. Okay, let me try this.
What age did you start making comics?
Professionally, I started when I was like around 32. I was published 2012, but I've been working on it since I was 26. Like trying to get the story together, trying to get the team together. So we're doing it for about 10 years now.
Hold on one second.
Any one thing in particular that really like you saw it and you're like, wow, this is what I want to do. This is what makes my dream.
So Mike just asked you, was there anything, one book like in particular, something in particular that's like, wow, I have to do this. like comics are what I have to do.
Dark Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis.
Dark
That was
Avengers.
the book. That was the book that I said, "Wow, I can do this too." I just loved the story. The story was so great; it blew me away.
All right. Mike is gonna take a step away for a little bit, so I'm gonna remove him from the stream,
Okay.
and you and I will be chatting for a little bit. All right.
Okay, sounds good. Cool.
And we'll get Cesaro in there too.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Sidaro back in here. Okay. So Mike is off right now.
Okay.
So it's just you and me now.
Cool.
So Bendis is actually I'd say one of your major inspirations as a comic writer.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
Let me turn this way. What is it about his writing that you like so much?
It's just very, very simple, to the point, but it has structure, it has meaning to it. Anything he touches, I think is gold. To me, in my opinion.
All right, I'm gonna try to bring Sidaro back in.
Okay, cool.
All right, Bob, are you there? Can you hear me? I think I hear sound, or did. Why is he up there? I got him as 2. Hold on. Let me do this.
Nope.
I'm gonna remove. I got you in here twice now. Okay. I'm gonna remove one of you from the stream here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kick him out. Kick from.
Well, Bob, I can see him, but I can't hear him at all.
Well, that's the thing. No, I don't want to do that. All right, I'm gonna bring him back real quick. Bob, can you hear me? Just give me a wave if you can hear me. Okay. What I want you to do is close out and rejoin, and make sure you test your mic before you come back in, because right now I have you set up as 2 people on here. So somehow, I don't know if that's the problem, because I could put you in here twice. I don't know if you can see. So I have you here. So just log off, close out, and then come back in. Can't hear a word you're saying, man.
Nope, nothing.
Sorry. Just when you get a chance, come back in. I hear like when he goes to talk, I hear sound. I hear like but I don't hear any voice. I hear like the
Me neither.
So, all right. I'm going to remove you. Log off, log back in, all right, Bob? So he's removed. Let's see if he does that. And anyway, let's get back to So you think Bendis is straight to the point?
Yeah. I love his writing.
Yeah. What was you said Dark Avengers was your favorite. What was the first Bendis book you wrote? I mean, read.
First, Bendis was probably Dark Avengers. That's what turned me on to Bendis when I was trying to figure out how to write comics and how to get. So I just to buy a whole bunch of comics, just read different types.
Have you ever what's the word I'm looking for? Well, okay. Have you ever read any books on writing comics? And
sure.
And if so, so sure is your answer. Which ones did you like the best, and what would you recommend to someone who's interested in writing comics?
Impact was a really good, very helpful to me when I was starting out. Andy Schmidt, great guy. I actually met him at New York Comic Con in 2019. He came by the Pronto table. I got to talk to him for a little bit, so he's super nice. Anything that Buddy Scalera does, because Buddy Scalera does a lot of instructional books. He's amazing. His stuff is great.
Stuff,
yeah, he's brilliant. I say anybody who's looking to get into it, Andy Schmidt, Buddy Scalera, anything that they write, they'll be super helpful for you.
Okay, yeah, I like those are good. Have you ever read? I don't know where it is. I don't know what side I have like comic books on one side, and then there's like instructional books on one side,
right?
And then I have comic books on one side with instructional books.
Sure,
I think. Hold on, let me see. Let's try Bob again. He's waving. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Nope.
Oh,
same thing.
There's
Can't
something.
hear him.
Yeah, no. You know what? I don't know. He's probably cursing too. That's like the fun part.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Probably a good thing we can't hear him right now.
He's muting himself.
Oh, I can't hear a thing.
I can't hear anything either. I'm sorry. It's the first time I've ever heard him silent, though.
That's a good one. I like that
one. Sorry, but I'm gonna take you off again. Maybe we'll try this. Try this again. But yeah, I'm gonna remove you. I'm totally gonna kick you off the streams here. So kick. I don't like doing that, but it'll remove him. And if you just 1 second, Bob, just so you know, you're gonna have to re-log in. All right. I'm gonna close you off on this, and we'll try it again. Oh, he signed out on that one. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take my headphones off. There was a book I really enjoyed that I read. I wanted your opinion on.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, sure. Of course. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm going to bring Cesaro back in. Let's see. Can we hear you?
I love technology.
We can hear him. All right,
great.
hold on 1 second there, Bob. I was asking Dennis about any about the kind of books that he read for learning how to write and stuff, and I had this book that I read, and I wanted to know his opinion on it. If he's ever read it. Have you ever read this one here?
Oh yeah. I have that one. Actually, it's my mother's house. Yeah, it was great. That's another great one.
Yeah, this one here. It's
Very
by
helpful.
how do you say his last name? His first name's Nick. Last name's Macari.
Yeah, Nick is actually a really nice guy. He's super cool.
I've never met him, but I've talked to him through Facebook.
Yeah, it's same here. Super nice.
Yeah, it's called The Working Writer's Guide to Comics and Graphic Novels, and I thought this was a fantastic book.
Oh, it's great.
Bob, would you like to chime in on any of that? Because Bob's a writer and he's written a bunch of stuff.
You know, I've written. I used to read. I think it was called Writer's Digest years and years ago.
I remember that.
It wasn't specific to comics. It was just regular about writing, and I read that for a bunch of years. And I've been writing professionally since '81. You know, with my first published piece in Amazing Heroes, number 5.
Wow.
So.
Do you remember the story that you wrote for them?
Yeah, it was. They said, "What do you like?" I said, "I like Spider-Man. I like Steve Ditko." So I wrote a Steve Ditko article.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so that was kind of cool. There's a new book about writing coming out by Paul Kupperberg. He's got a Kickstarter about it right now. I'm gonna add that link if I could.
Okay.
I gotta.
I could, if you could. You can send it to me. We can post it. You know, I could post it on the IncrediCom page, or you can even put it into. Well, just post it. We'll take care of that.
I don't care where you put it. You know, I actually backed this. Paul's a friend of mine. And oh wait, I gotta do this. Hold on. All right. I gotta allow. All right, I did that. All right, I gotta find the link. It's in here somewhere. I actually am an admin on a Facebook page called Back This Comic Book Crowdfunder Campaign. So
that's a long title.
It is not my title. It's I used to work on a site called We Love Comics, and all we did was talk about Kickstarter books. And all right, where am I? Where's the thing? All right, right here. I am going to post this in the chat frame.
Okay.
And there it is. That's Paul Kupperberg's book, and it's the title of it is. Don't tell me. Let me guess. Paul Kupperberg's Illustrated Guide to Writing Comics. And Paul's been writing comic books, since the dawn of time. He wrote mostly for DC and Archie. He actually killed Archie. He was the one who killed Archie.
Really? In what way?
And Archie gets married.
In the book, like the way he wrote. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's right. He killed Archie, and he was famous for about 20 minutes, and everybody wanted to talk to him. And but he's been writing for 40 years. You know, he's got just an incredible backlog of work that was published under amazing editors that worked at DC and illustrated by amazing artists. So he's got a lot of stories to
no.
tell. So I actually have a digital copy of the book for review. I haven't actually looked at it yet, unfortunately. I've been crazy busy.
Yeah.
But I can imagine. I've heard a number of the stories that I know are in there, and he's amazing. I think everybody should back this book. He's about halfway to his Kickstarter goal.
Okay.
And he's an entertaining guy. So
I don't think I've ever had the pleasure to meet him.
Well, you should invite him to IncrediCon. I'm sure he'd come when we're out of quarantine.
Well, we're hoping that we could do our October show.
Yeah.
Again, and then we're hoping to do the show at the Ramada that was supposed to be this weekend next year.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking where he lives, but is he local to IncrediCon?
He's in Stanford.
Okay. Well, okay. If you want to, I didn't want to.
That's right.
But Dennis, you have any questions? You haven't seen Bob in a while.
Bob, how have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been fine. I've been doing a bunch of writing. I've been working with a group called Indelible, and they're publishing comic books and prose books, anthologies about using mostly the old 1950s, early 60s Dell characters that are now in the public domain.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So I got to write a bunch of Owl Girl stories, which is actually funny for me because I was writing an ongoing series called Owl Girls for Red Anvil.
Are you still doing that for them, or is that done?
That's on indefinite hold, unfortunately.
On indefinite.
Yeah, we have issues. We had some issues with the artist and other things, and hopefully we're gonna get back to it.
Yeah, that's good. Because I remember seeing the art on that in the book. It was a really nice book.
Was just amazing. I was so entranced by the artist. She was just an incredible. Had such an incredible design sense. And Dave Ryan, who's the co-publisher of Red Anvil, he was shepherding her along, and I'm not quite sure what happened, but it got stalled, unfortunately.
Yeah. So sorry, but I hope that comes back soon.
Yeah, so do I. I was really enjoying that story.
Now we're at 52 minutes. Usually we want to keep this within an hour, so maybe a few minutes over, a few minutes under. I don't want to shorten this. It took a while to get Bob in here tonight. But don't worry, we're definitely going to invite you back.
Oh.
And Joe, who would you love to meet? Is it Dennis, Bob?
Me? I'm sorry.
Joe Ryan just made a comment, and I can show you. I don't usually put him up, but it says, I would love to meet him. I don't know who he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about Paul. Maybe he's talking about you.
Yeah, well.
IncrediCon, is saying, let's see what IncrediCon is talking. What are some of the Dell books being used?
Oh, we're doing let me just put hold on. Let me see if I can get this is
hold on. Here's what I'll do is I'm going to give you the full screen right now.
Yeah, so good show. Yeah, sure.
This is the latest book.
Looks great.
And I have a short story in here.
I love the colors.
Oh yeah, this is cool. This is my characters, the Wolf Girls, from that originally started in Psychosis, from another publisher, and I'm taking them back, and I'm using that. And let's see, I don't know that I don't have anything else at the moment from Dell, but all of the Dell characters that were there. You can go back to 3 screen. I'm getting a little verklempt here.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. I have a big head, and but yeah, we're using all of the. This is the book I showed you now. House of Spades is using mostly not so much the Dell characters as our own characters mixed in with some of the Dell characters, and but we have. I can send you some links afterwards for the indelible characters. But
yeah, email me
that they're having. I wish I could think off the top of my head who they are.
Email me with any links you want, and I'll be happy to post them after.
Okay.
After this on the actual page.
Cool.
And you were saying, I'm sorry that I interrupted. You were saying that you don't remember which the characters from Dell they're using, or
I honestly do not. But basically, all of the Dell characters, I know we're using. Yeah, my modem just fell down.
like you can't use any of the Dell characters that were like that. Like, no, I'm saying that were like, I don't want to say Dell characters. Anything Dell published that was licensed, you're not using. You're using whatever, like that Frankenstein, the Dracula, like when they did all those characters.
Right, we're doing those as well.
Okay.
We are using those characters. I'm really pulling a blank. I'm sorry, but basically any of the Dell characters that Dell published, we've been using those characters and creating new stories for them. We haven't really we're not republishing anything that Dell published. Okay. We're doing obviously the Owl Girl, Frankenstein. There's a wealth of characters.
Public domain. Yeah, I will say this to anyone who's trying to break into the industry. Sometimes it's difficult if you don't, it's hard to come up with characters. Sometimes it's also hard if you're trying to get a job and I want to work for Marvel, but I got to draw all this stuff, or I want to work for whatever. Create your own short story using public domain characters. Anything from mythology is public domain. You could use Thor if you wanted to, but you can't use Marvel's Thor.
Likeness,
yeah. It's I love, the ideas of pulling out something like King Arthur or Robin Hood. There was a great character I loved in public domain, Captain Battle. Sure. Captain Battle is fantastic. But his design was just cool. And I was working on something to update him a while back, and I just never followed through with it. But I enjoyed Captain Battle a lot. And Moon Girl, I believe, is another one but I think, is Marvel using Moon Girl?
I think they are, actually. But there are tons of public domain characters. You're right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter that somebody else is doing.
I even think Sherlock Holmes is public domain, if I'm not mistaken.
Sherlock Holmes they're public domain. Actually, it's funny. A few weeks ago on Facebook, I don't know if you guys know who Joe Wass is, but he does Maze cartoons that are syndicated in newspapers. And he made a post about wouldn't it be interesting if, and I'm not sure if I got it exactly right, but if people stopped drawing licensed characters and making prints of those at shows and just did public domain characters.
Sure.
And I thought that was fantastic because I actually drew and had prints of public domain characters, and it was so hard to sell them. You'd get one person every like 3 or 4 shows who knew who the heck these characters were.
That's this very specific fan base for like stuff like that. That's the issue,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but you can go on Wikipedia, and there's a Wikipedia page.
There's a listing, sure.
Yeah, a listing of all public domain characters.
Yeah, I check that out every once in a while. If I have an idea, like when I work with a character that's like well known but not owned by any companies, I usually go check out the public domain to see anything I want to work with.
Yeah, I spent time
actually
doing
that.
Sure.
For another publisher, I had written a script for a American Indian character, and unfortunately that never went anywhere. But I have the script still. Maybe I'll use it someplace else. But it's a lot of fun crafting these characters. And actually, I wove my Wolf Girl story into one of the stories that I wrote about Owl Girl. Right. And just to reintroduce my characters and get them back out getting them back out there.
Are you looking with that stuff to do self-publishing or?
Yeah, I'm looking to do some self-publishing. I want to actually pull all the Wolf Girl stuff together, and I'm going to want to publish with. I have a publisher in mind that is. I've kind of committed to bringing the Wolf Girls out under his umbrella title, and as soon as we work out the details, I'll let you know more about that.
All right, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. You guys, I'm gonna start ending and wrapping this up now because we're almost at an hour, and it's already 9:30. I kind of want to
no problem.
Do some stuff for myself, but I want to have you both back on sometime again. Sure. When you before you go though, anything you want to promote, your social media, your books you're working on, anything. We'll let Dennis go first, and then I'll have Bob go.
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's Mr. Knight Writer on Twitter. My Instagram is D Knight Writer on Instagram. Also have a Cross Comic Book fan page on Facebook where I have updates about my shows, about my events. So anybody want to follow me there, more than happy to. Thank you so
And
much.
what is the cross page? Is it just cross or?
It's Cross Comic Book on Facebook.
Cross Comic Book. And by the way, his Mr. is MR.
Yes.
Yes,
MR.
it's not MISTER. It's MR. And is there a period or no period?
No period. Just
So
one word. Mr. Night Writer.
And writer is writer. That's what I'm saying.
Writer. Not writer.
Let's make sure that people got that. All right. All right, Bob. How about you? Anything you want to promote?
Well, yeah. Let's talk about my my Instagram page. Let's see if I can figure out where I am. It's my Instagram page is just Robert Sodaro, and you can follow me there. That's mostly silly stuff and random, random brain fart, as it were. My Twitter page is funnybook_city.
Funnybook_city.
Yeah, Funnybook City. That's actually my publishing house is called Funnybook City, and I call them funny books because when I was younger, I started reading comic books sitting on the newsstand of my uncle's store, and I was reading 12-cent comic books. I read Amazing Spider-Man 15. I read the Silver Age Flash, Modern Age Flash. I think it's number 121. That number's in my head. I could be wrong about that. When the two Flashes met, I remember reading those things. I read Metal Men. I read some early stuff sitting on the newsstand of my uncle's store, and my uncle called them funny books. And so the word funny books is stuck in my head, and it's it entertains me that they are. And but I will say this: when I write the word comic books, I write it as one word, and the reason I write it as one word is because Stan Lee said they're really not all comical, and they're not actually books. But when you put them together, they form a new genre. So the word comic books should always be one word because it's creating a brand new genre of literature that's out there.
I like that.
I do too, and so that's kind of where my head is at the moment.
That's awesome.
I'm just writing as much as I can. I've written. Oh, I also have a page on Hub Pages. Wait, let me see if I can get the Hub Pages up and running. Where I review movies and comic books and stuff. No, that's not what I wanted. I want my profile page, which is right here. And so my profile page on Hub Pages, where I do reviews, like I said, of movies and comics, is hubpages.com/@Robert J. Sodaro, and it's Sodaro, Sodaro.
All right. I just want to say one more thing about Dennis's, just social media. When it's Mr. Knight Writer, it's Knight with a KNIGHT. So
yes.
Just that. I just want to make sure you guys know that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And just one little plug for me. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just my name, Michael Gracia. But tomorrow at 1:00 on the IncrediCom page, I will be live streaming, doing some drawing. So if there's anybody out there with kids watching and they want to learn to draw or just watch me talk about, cartooning or comics while I draw, I'll be on from 1 to 2 on the IncrediCom page tomorrow.
Very cool.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. It was a pleasure hanging out with you.
Same, man.
Thanks for
real soon.
We'll definitely be in touch.
Sounds good.
All right.
Take care, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Later, Bob. Good night.
Good night, man.